Tonight, my thoughts beg to be spilled. I always sit on the balcony to write. I watch the people below, just far enough away for me to stay invisible. A small metal railing, the only thing separating me from a 6-story drop. It's the only place I feel safe. Part of me wants to blame that on you, but the other part knows it's disrespectful to keep poking through the ashes, so I watch, content to keep the people a page length away. I still identify as a people person, even though I don't like people much these days. I trace the skyline with slender fingers just to feel like I own this sprawling chaos. I've always loved chaos. I want to wake up without remembering what you looked like in the morning, but you've always had a coffee-ground body and a way of marking everything I do. Tonight, the truth sounds like discord. It rattles in my eardrums and wells up behind my eyes. I've got clumsy hands and shallow tear ducts. I try to at least keep my fingers occupied. They only settle down when I let them remember how they felt on your skin. I would lend you my perspective, but in the end, you'd still see what you wanted to see. I would draw you a diagram, but that wouldn't make you walk back to me. You never followed directions. I woke up this morning with your taste on my tongue. You had a mouth like a cherry blossom blooming 3 months too late. We kissed like the sea and the sky. Our tongues were horizon lines. You couldn't tell where light ended and infinity started. We just knew for a few blessed moments that we held both between us. But our love was nothing more than a sunset. A cliche in the worst sort of way. It didn't last so long. Our love was the second hand on a time bomb. We bloomed in a field already slotted to become a parking lot. You told me I was your hero, so I tied myself to the train track with ropes fashioned out of bed sheets. I admit, I made a lousy martyr. Tonight, I tie up my blankets like epilogues and stretch them from the balcony. As if they could reach 6 stories, as if they could tie up our story, but I never troubled myself with practicalities, and these days you don't seem to trouble yourself with me, so in a way this tableau feels like it's meant to be. There are 2 people below me holding hands, and I am fighting the urge to throw something at them. I am fighting the urge to scream. It's not worth it to scream. You'll remember this moment over the glasses of wine you'll drink alone. I never wanted to be the jaded one. I want to believe that attraction is more than throwing your lonely in the direction of the nearest empty shell. But I was once a block of marble, waiting for my personal sculptor to chip me into something beautiful. One night I handed you a chisel and said, "I'm scared." You said, "Me too." But you were more of a Picasso. You carved me into a rambling abstraction and called it paradox. The critics adore it, but I look nothing like a masterpiece. I sit on the balcony and wonder how often you think of me. I look into the windows to the evenings of strangers and imagine how lovely it might be if we all just turned our lights off for a while. The people scatter towards nowhere in particular, and it reminds me of how we used to run in circles at 4 a.m. before we collapsed. Then you'd let your fingers run in circles on my abdomen, and we'd laugh. Chaos, us, and everything else have a lot in common, I guess. I have always loved chaos from a distance.